You fucking... Are you insane?
What? I did it on purpose.
I hate it, though.
That's my thing, though.
No, it's not.
It
I
is.
edited out the last one.
You did?
Well, maybe you should listen to him.
Well, you shouldn't edit it out. Well, now I'm going to know. If you don't hear me clearing my throat at the beginning of the podcast, that means Vince started it 5 seconds later.
I'm gonna cut this out. You know how we open up every single episode. You know it. Why try and... Is this how you want it to open up? Like this?
Me being butthurt? Yes. You just want to be the first one to talk. I see how it is.
Oh my god, you can do the intro. I don't give a shit. It has to open up with the title. That's all I'm asking with our 2 introductions, and then that's when you start breaking character. Or being in character as being like, oh, I'm going to try and, sabotage the podcast. This is going to have to fix this.
I'll say that for later. This is Battle of the Challenge podcast. I'm David Lauer.
I'm Vincent Cloud.
Did I get the name right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm proud of myself.
Battle of the Challenge podcast.
That's the first time I've ever done the intro.
And your last.
Oh, come on. I didn't fuck it up.
No, you did a good job. We're gonna... Alright, well, see, next you would be like, this is the dual episode 6.
I don't remember the name of the I was going to call it Battle of the X's, too.
You're living in the past, Dave.
I don't know. That's all I think about, though. Johnny Bananas and Wes.
Yeah? Well, you got Wes this time, and you got, are anyone else kind of like building up in your mind a little bit? I'll tell you this, Evan got a lot of screen time in this episode, and he was, well, how would you describe Evan? First, he would describe himself as paranoid, correct?
Yeah.
Remember that in the beginning, I think Wes was like, I feel like eventually someone might call you out or something. I don't remember, but basically Wes, they were talking about whether... Because the whole point of that scene was Evan being paranoid. Remember? He's like, I'm never going to be able to go into normal society ever after this. I want to be in every conversation, but I want to be in none of the conversations.
Yeah, that was the best line of the whole episode.
And Wes is like, you can't be paranoid because that's going to put an even bigger target on your back. And it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now Evan's paranoid of being paranoid.
Yeah.
Where Nehemiah jumps on top of Beth and kind of like is rolling around with her. They always have good things to say about each other, but it was just another moment where they could show them together and getting along. Her laughing and blushing nonstop, and
yeah, just to establish everyone because there's also Brad at the same time. He's saying like how he's got like papers and statistics and shit. Like he's like he's also feeling kind of paranoid as Evan is. It's really because it's the halfway point most of all. That's the most important part. All right, so let's finally get to the goddamn point. It's the mission of the day. It's the Russian swing. It's guys' day, so the guys have to choose their girl partner. Let's describe the Russian swing. It's like a 50-foot. How would you describe this thing? Like a little swing on your. How would you describe it?
It's just a swing that's a platform that you both stand on. I don't know.
Kind of like a circus thing, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, you just basically, they just throw their body weight forward and backwards to get some momentum going, and it's basically, it just comes down to timing. Like, once you get it swinging, it's how you time your jump and your release point, because if you do it a little too late, you're going to end up losing that momentum right as you jump, and then you're kind of just going to fall flat, and a few people did that, and then some other people did really awesome and jumped at the perfect point in the swing, and they were able to get themselves a good head start.
Oh, yeah. They have to swim 50 feet. Jesus Christ.
That's it.
They have to grab the soccer ball in the one ring, then they have to swim while pushing the ball to the beginning part, and then throwing that soccer ball into the little basket. Then the time will be stopped, and then next the girls will go. So it's guys first, then girls.
Yep, and then if the ball goes out of the boundary, then you're disqualified.
Automatically out. You're automatically stopped for your entire team. And then if girls win, if you're a girl on the team that wins, you get an ion projector from InFocus. We've seen this prize
isn't
before.
That the second time they've had a projector?
But that was for the guys, I think.
But this is for the girls.
Yeah. See? MTV was like, give us 2. of each, and we'll make it work. Very Noah's Ark of them. All right. So, anyways, this is something to pay attention to. Robin, since she won last episode's elimination, gets to choose the order. So all the guys choose their girls, and now Robin, part of what? Drama Mafia?
Yeah.
Gets to choose the order. She makes a Beth Alliance member. I don't remember the name we came out with. The Beth Touchables. We'll probably let. That's lived and died since the episode. Yeah. Wes and Svetlana have to go first. Going first, I mean, Wes is like, this is a hindrance. Like, you know,
is Svetlana part of Beth's group? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Because he's
part of the alliance.
Yeah. But then who picked Beth to be partner? Who's Beth's partner?
Big Easy. I feel like he kind of threw the whole thing off.
Yeah, because then Nehemiah had to go, you know.
With Anissa. But Anissa's part of that same alliance.
That's true.
They kind of made it into a racial thing, like Anissa did anyways. Like, okay, black people unite. Fuck y'all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. What else are they going to do? Big Easy stole away Beth, and then Nehemiah, like, who else is he going to go with? The other girl in the alliance.
That Big Easy, he kind of really threw a wrench in the works, considering his role to play in the episode, Big Easy.
Yeah.
Because he calls Nehemiah out. Yeah, it's probably just all, like, why the fuck Beth should have been like, no, fucking, you know, mace him and shit like that. And get with Nehemiah. Well, I don't know. I felt that maybe they shouldn't have gotten with their own alliance. Why not spread it out? That'll increase your chances of winning, right? No?
Possibly, but it would, I mean, you could just also just try and sabotage. If, say, like, Wes or Nehemiah went and got on, like, Jody's team or something, Jody's just going to tank it for them. So that way, they're not going to be safe. I mean, that would be smart of her to do if she had the opportunity. So they... like, if they're thinking about it...
I'd rather fucking drown than to help your alliance. Like, holy shit.
They're just going to take that life jacket off and just, you know, 2 fingers in the air, peace sign, and they just sink like a stone.
What a crazy bitch that Jody was. Wes and Svetlana are part of that Beth Alliance. And Robin, who's Drama Mafia, she's like, you motherfuckers are first. Wes goes first. He does a really good job. I feel like he invented a technique that I never would have thought of. He throws the ball ahead of him, and he just kind of pushes it with his head. Meanwhile, with every stroke, his arm is kind of keeping it in the center.
He's just keeping it in line between his arms and he's a very good swimmer. I think if I was the first person to do it, I feel like I would have grabbed the ball and probably try to throw it halfway down there. And then, because you don't want to throw it out of bounds.
But when you get to it, though, what would you do?
Take it and throw it again another 5 feet.
Yeah, but that was the best one, you know. So he establishes
and everyone followed
right there. Yep, exactly.
Everyone did.
Now his partner has to go, and it's Svetty.
Svetty Balls?
Which I feel like both of our favorites, kind of. Huh? I like Svetlana.
I guess.
Oh, really? Oh, well, never mind. I like Svetlana.
Yeah? What do you like about it, Vince?
Carnal pleasures.
That's all you have to say?
Yep. Yeah, it's very shallow. It's like, it's not even carnal pleasures. I never met the bitch, but, I mean, young lady. Next is Nehemiah and Anissa. This is the racially bound team.
Why are we bringing up the race again?
I'm sorry. Nehemiah goes first. He does a good job, a really good job. And then Anissa goes. But I feel like she was the one that threw the ball, missed the basket first, and went out of bounds.
Yep. Totally WNBA'd it and missed on the dunk. Women in basketball. I mean, well, you would think that she would have been better at basketball, but no.
Nehemiah did good.
Yeah, he did. He represented.
Basketball in water, basically.
Yeah. Like oil and water almost. They don't mix.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, an African American dominated sport in water, all of a sudden, you're like, holy shit. I mean, this was a very special
I just meant you can't dribble if you're in the water, and that's half the game, right?
You could bubble. All right.
The ball skills are neutralized.
Yeah. That's the opposite of hockey.
Yeah,
White people on ice.
I think basically what it showed was that if you swim really awesome, but then you end up missing on that freaking dunk at the end, and the ball rolls beyond it, then you're screwed.
Yep.
You know?
I think so there's just like an automatic out.
Yeah, so once you think you see one team do that, and then you're like, oh, okay, I need to be actually careful because that half a second time is not going to make you end up with last place.
Like, so there's no reason to even kind of take a hoop shot or whatever.
Yeah, just take it and place it in there gently because as long as you're not eliminated, you should be fine.
She couldn't help it, though, man. It's in her blood. She had to fucking bam, like Michael.
Be like Mike.
She wanted to be like Mike. But... you know, it's unfortunate for Nehemiah, though, because he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Next is CT and Diem. Diem says, she's like, oh, I got to take off my wig for the second time. And she's like, no emotion behind it. Like, it's not a big deal anymore. And she's crediting her partner, CT, for that.
For making her feel comfortable?
Yeah.
And the fact that everyone's just staring at her ass anyway, so no one really cares what's on her head.
As expected, CT does a really good job. Diem actually puts in a really good performance this time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it's the wig. Just holy shit, yeah. The last time, the first episode, she took off the wig for the first time and she won.
Ooh.
It's the wig. They're cursed or something. Next is Big Easy and Beth. This is the bastard who chose Beth. Probably threw off the entire fucking alliance. But Beth is like, okay, so I ended up with the biggest guy here, so it's gonna be harder to kind of start to get him off. But luckily, I'm good at pumping, and she kind of like does this thing to the camera.
She's got strong thighs.
Yeah.
She's good at pumping.
You know, that was the moment where I'm like, Beth, you kind of seduced me a little bit. You know, I'm like, oh shit. Because like, Svetlana's cute and hot and everything else, but like...
she's probably not that good at pumping.
Yeah.
Not as good as Beth.
You need years of experience. Yeah, but I was just like, oh shit, Beth. So all of a sudden, Beth was the hottest one on the show. You know, I completely forgot about Diem.
And all is forgotten. And
yeah.
So, like, Eric, he's big and he swam fairly well from what you could see. But then once it's Beth's turn to get into the water, kind of just like the timing was a little off, and then she kind of fell straight down, and she almost didn't jump into the area of play. Yeah. She like barely just made it where like her upper body was crossed the line, and then like TJ was like, okay, yeah, she made it. Barely. But here's a theory. Do you think she did it on purpose to screw over Big Easy? Because she has nothing to gain by helping him. What does she have to gain? Nothing.
Oh shit, that's true.
Did she do it on purpose?
I mean, like, she could win like a ion projector, but it's like,
she doesn't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
She came to play and win the game. She's not there for a projector. So even if she did it on purpose or not, it doesn't hurt her, the fact that she did bad on that jump.
Holy shit, that actually means like it just matters the guy, part of the alliance. So Anissa fucked it up for Nehemiah. The only person in the running for the Beth Alliance is Wes right now. Mm-hmm. So next we have Evan and Keena. And this went really awesome. Evan I just remember him going like super fast, like faster than Wes. And Wes is like one of those, I think he was like a state champion swimmer or some shit.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he's usually the deadly guy in the water. But Evan looked fucking ferocious.
Yeah, like, he was like a freaking motorboat. Just, wow, yeah. Motorboat? It has a dual meaning.
It's Keena's turn. He launches Keena, like, I would say over halfway in the water, right? Mm-hmm. And it's really that launch that really helped them because Keena, she's a tiny girl. She's a warrior woman. Like, I remember her from Gauntlet 2. Like, that was my introduction to her, and she was awesome. We've barely mentioned her until now because she just hasn't stood out. But, yeah, she's finally getting some clout, I feel like. Really thanks to Evan's launching of her, though. Next is Derek and Jody. This is horrible. This is tragic. Derek goes first. He has the ball. He's about to throw it in. He misses it. Goes out of bounds. It's out. Jody doesn't even get to try. That sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just stupid by him, and he knew it immediately. He's like, oh, what the fuck?
Lastly is Brad and Robin, because Robin's like, hey, I won or whatever. I got to choose. So they're going. Brad goes first, but I feel like he nearly fucks up. He kind of like loses the ball.
Yeah, he kind of lost the ball over to the right side, and he had to swim over to get it. So he slowed down his time there, where he wasn't going to get first. But looking at how fast Evan was, the only thing that really matters is if you get first. So Evan and Kina were so dominant.
Yeah, because he was like cursing up a storm and shit because he probably assumed like any fuck up at all meant that's the game right there. And he was right. In the end, TJ lets us know the top 3 performers. And in third place is CT and Diem. Again, that's awesome. I mean, CT, he's won at least before, and he's always like a good competitor. But finally, Diem fucking shows up.
Yeah, that's true. Because she really hasn't done well in a lot of these challenges.
Yeah. Second place is Wes and Svetlana. That was a close one for the Beth Alliance. But in the end, though, it's Evan and Kina with the first place. And I just wanted to mention this. We forgot to bring this up in the last episode. But it's basically the guys here is the same top 3. CT, Wes, and Evan. Remember when they had to jump from one side to the other, capturing those flags and stuff? We forgot to mention that it was like Wes was in third place, then Evan, then CT. We never mentioned that CT won last episode.
So we didn't?
Yeah, we never did.
Oh, but we did mention how he was the only guy who was jumping and landing on his feet and dominating it.
Yeah.
And I think we just got distracted by talking about how dominant he was.
But I don't know. What I'm getting at right now is just like these 3 guys are in the top 3 once again. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Kina wins the projector. Evan wins safety, so now Celebration is going to be a really quick one because there's even fewer people. Thank God. Evan chooses Kina, his partner. Makes sense. Whatever. I don't think he's really part of any kind of alliance, though. Evan is.
Yeah. So it was interesting that no Drama Mafia or Beth Alliance member was safe, so it kind of, the start of it was you weren't sure where it was going to go from the very beginning with the voting.
Kina chooses Derek, and again, this is going to go like, it's going to fall in line. This is the typical pattern. Kina, then Derek, Jody, Brad, Robin. Robin chooses CT. I think that might have happened before. I'm not really sure. And then CT chooses Diem, which is fine. But then now Diem has to choose between... No, she chooses Wes. And she's saying like how Big Easy's staring her down or whatever.
Yeah. So
throwing her daggers.
Where else do you think she would have went? Like, why would she have gone with Big Easy, or who else would she have gone with?
Exactly. I think her very first vote, like she's voted for Wes before, and she's voted for Big Easy recently. So I feel like it was just like, hey, I voted you last time, I'll vote for Wes again. That's how I felt.
Diem voting for Wes is basically giving free reign for Wes to pick Beth, and then
any Anissa, of that alliance.
Anissa, and then Svetlana.
Oh shit, that's a good point.
So basically, she chose that alliance.
Yeah.
So like, Diem kind of showed allegiance there.
To the other alliance?
No, she's showing allegiance to Beth's alliance because she picked Wes. Because once she
but Diem shouldn't be. She's part of Drama Mafia.
Yeah, that's true. What the fuck? Yeah, she was basically choosing the other alliance. She's a defector. She can't be trusted.
To be honest with you, these are the only people that are left. And it's all of Beth's alliance. It's Diem's there, and all she's looking at is Wes, Beth, Anissa, Svetlana, Nehemiah. The only person that's not part of that alliance is Big Easy. Doesn't choose Big Easy.
Okay.
Yes.
He has a right to be really pissed because it was that entire alliance, and he knew once she picked Nehemiah or Wes, then there was no chance, but he was going to end up being left there last. So she did kind of throw him under the bus.
I mean,
wow.
Yeah, I figured it was just Big Easy being like, hey, why didn't you pick me again? To me, I was like, well, she chose Wes, then she chose you, and then she's going to choose Wes again. Maybe she'll just give you guys turns or something like that.
I mean, maybe that's the way she thought of it, but in actuality, it was
she should have thought it better.
Yeah.
Through better, yeah. All right, so now Wes has to choose out of these 3 girls who are all part of his alliance. He chooses Beth, right? He could have chose his partner Svetlana, but didn't. Chose probably the alpha female.
Yeah, leader of the pack.
Because she's either going to choose Nehemiah or Big Easy. She's obviously going to choose Nehemiah. Nehemiah and Wes are friends. They're from Austin.
Just like playing chess, you're thinking one move ahead, so when you're picking someone, you're thinking who they're going to pick.
Yeah, unlike Diem.
Yep.
Alright, so now Nehemiah is safe. And Anissa Svetlana just take off forever. So now it's Big Easy. And he's like, all right, now I get to choose someone. Who do you think he was going to choose? You said either Wes or Nehemiah.
Yeah,
right?
I figured he needs to go after that alliance, and I'm like, there's Wes and Nehemiah in there. He needs to go after one of those two because, yeah, he can just pick like the littlest guy, like Derek maybe, and try and beat him in a challenge. But I mean, Eric, he's a big dude. He needs to, go for one of the top dogs. I feel like, and trying to bust up that alliance, I think that would help him because he's not a part of an alliance. So you need to go after an alliance and try and break it up if you're not going to join one.
He says Nehemiah is 80% BS and 20% show up. I'm gonna call him into the duel and see what his cards are and see whether he shows up or not or something like that. I was like, really? He doesn't seem like that too much, but
yeah.
I don't know.
It seemed kind of out of nowhere. I had no idea that Big Easy has a thing against Nehemiah.
Yeah,
We've never really seen that at all
yeah.
at any point, but apparently there's friction there. Maybe Eric has got a thing for Beth and he's a little jealous of
Oh
Nehemiah.
my god, I never thought of
Perhaps.
that.
I don't know. Like, we don't see it on screen, but maybe he's a little love hurt.
Maybe it's because we just don't see Big Easy as a romantic lead. I'm sorry. Like, we don't try and think, maybe Big Easy is longing for Beth or something like that. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's longing for Svetlana. We don't know it. Yeah. Because that would never work out, right? Svetlana would be like you, right?
Probably. If she met you, she'd be like, ew. And, like,
Whoa, did you say if Svetlana met me, she'd be like you?
Yeah, well, you were saying at the beginning of the episode that you...
You think she's going to listen to this?
No, I don't think she's going to listen to this.
So how would she know that I was being a pervert in the earlier part of the episode?
Well, I didn't say she would know that you're a pervert.
Okay, well, maybe I should let you finish your sentence. I just jumped to that conclusion. I am innocent. All right, go on.
I didn't really have a point other than you're saying that she would say ew to Big Easy, but she would probably say the same to you, because if you were saying that Big Easy had a thing for her, I'm like, well, you had a thing for her too.
Oh, and I am pretty big. They call me Big Vincy.
Big V.
Big V, yeah. That sounds like some sort of hooker, like over the hill hooker.
Oh, God.
Let's go to Big V. Oh, I heard that she's not dormant. You know what I'm saying? Her shit's not dormant this time of year. You gotta get to her at a certain time of season. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying.
What?
I don't want to ask.
Big V. Oh my god. All right. Wow, this is probably the most obtuse episode we've ever recorded.
Obtuse? We're throwing out geometrical references now. As opposed to our other ones, which are very acute. Like, I feel like Derek and Big Easy are two guys who are kind of on the fringe.
I would have to disagree. I would have to say that they are... I was just looking at this, and this is what I was going to bring up. I feel like Brad and Derek and CT are basically sitting pretty comfortable. And Evan, just because Evan is just performing very good.
Mm-hmm.
Those four are sitting comfortable because Jody, Keena, Diem, Robin, they're all friends with those other guys. So I feel like an unwritten alliance is there. And really...
That's Evan, CT, and Derek?
Evan, CT, Derek, and Brad. Because Brad is always voting for Robin or vice versa, and Robin is part of that drama mafia, so they're all working together and shit. Brad and Derek are friends. Seems like CT is pretty chummy with those guys in some weird way. I think it is through Diem, though, ultimately. Yeah. And Diem is part of the drama mafia. So.
Yep.
And it's funny, you were saying like how when CT was on camera, you were like, sometimes he looks a little freaky or whatever.
Yeah.
The reason why I kind of laughed, I was like, you know what it is this is your, first season watching CT, really?
Yeah, maybe. I would guess.
This is his first ever face season. This is his third season, right? His first two, he was a heel. He was a prick. He was an asshole. He tormented his own teammates. Like, he challenged, like, come on, you want to fight? And they're like, no, we want to do this mission, CT. What the fuck are you doing? He would just diss his,
But now he found Diem and he's in love?
He's a different CT.
So he's all doe-eyed and just,
Yeah, I haven't mentioned it because there's no reason to bring it up. He's like a completely different guy this entire season, and it's jarring. You know, I imagine it's jarring, but a lot of people are just like, oh, CT and Diem. But it's like CT and Diem fans forget that when Diem's not around, when they're not on the same challenge, he's an asshole. He beats the shit out of people and gets eliminated or DQ'd and shit.
So is he just putting on a show for Diem, or did she melt his heart?
I feel like she did. I don't know. Well, let's just leave it out.
We'll see.
Yeah.
To be determined.
But that's what I was getting at, where I'm just like, well, this is a different CT. Like, he was an asshole in his first 2 seasons. Now he's like a totally different guy because he has this relationship, and everyone's like, oh, Diem. Finally, we're at the elimination of the night. It's ICANN. We haven't seen this in a while. We haven't seen this since the first episode. Instead of watermelons, we have logs now. How are you feeling about the logs?
I thought it was cool until I saw the logs, and I was like, oh, those look like they weigh like 2 pounds each. They didn't look like they were heavy at all, so I was like, Eric is never going to say, prove it, so I knew Eric was going to end up lifting. That was my thought.
Well, let's explain it for those who haven't heard what it is. It's basically just counter bidding, like lift 30 logs, and Dave, you would be like, I want to lift 32 or something like that. They quickly got to 80, like almost immediately, and then Nehemiah would go just one more. That was his go-to.
Yeah.
Big Easy would kind of just keep pushing it, like 80, 86, 88, 91, and Nehemiah was just like one over, no matter what. And that's kind of annoying. It's just like, come on, man, just kind of man up just a little bit more, put the fear in his eyes. But they were both going back and forth because I feel like Big Easy. Well, he's like, I don't think Nehemiah's shit. He's just like, he just looks like a intimidating black guy. But it's not. Like he's a black guy. He's not intimidating, and I could outdo him, and that's what he's trying to say. So they're going up. They're going to 160, 161, and then finally Nehemiah, I believe, goes 165. They keep going up. Then finally TJ is like, whoa, hold on, Big Easy. You said you could do 165?
Yeah, you just said that Nehemiah said it, but Eric said that you could do 165.
And Big Easy's like, yeah, I did. And he's like, okay, well, we only have 165 logs. So do you think you could still lift it? And Big Easy's like, yeah. So now he has to...
So basically, because Eric said that magic number first, he was the first guy to say he could get that amount, and they didn't know what the maximum amount was. But because he was the first guy to say it, he was the highest bidder, basically.
Yeah.
So he got the chance to lift it, and if he could do it, then he stays.
He gets strapped up, puts on the back brace, puts 165 logs in, lifts it up. He's able to lift it up. It actually looked like he kind of struggled a little bit to get to the position, but he got there, held it for 5 seconds. Nehemiah's out of there. I felt like it was very unfortunate that they only had a limited amount of logs, and Big Easy struggled a little bit, but I'm sure Nehemiah could have done it.
I think he could have.
It was really just that killer number, 165.
Well, I mean, he might not have been able to do it because he is a lot smaller.
And even Nehemiah, he was like, Big Easy, he's bigger than me. He admitted it. He's like, he'll probably lift higher than me. So that's why he said, I don't want him lifting. That's why Nehemiah was always going one above Big Easy. It was lame, but that was his, I have to I have to lift. Big Easy shouldn't. But he didn't know there was only 165.
He should have realized that there's only a limited amount of space in that big container that they're trying to lift. So there's going to be a limit. I mean, it's just logic. You're only going to be able to go so high with it. And the fact that he kept just only outbidding by one, that screwed him over.
They jumped up so much, and they hit 165. It was really kind of a letdown.
Yeah, I feel like the production of this type of thing, it shouldn't come to that. I feel like there's a better way to set that game up than what they did.
Who would to have guessed that they would go to that many logs? Remember, they only lifted 30 watermelons.
Yeah.
So, assuming that no one got to 165, whoever was called out to say, hey, you lift it, was going to win. Big Easy wins. Nehemiah's out. That is a strike for Beth's Alliance. They lose a member. They're down to 4 now. Wes is like, oh man, he was my buddy. He was really one of the few guys that had my back. Beth's the same way. She says the same thing.
So what are they going to do now? Are they going to try and get Big Easy in their alliance? I don't feel like any of the other.
But he took them out though.
But they don't have any other guys that they could really go after. Not really, because all those other guys seem to have a thing for one of the girls in the Drama Mafia.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Beth's Alliance, this could have been pretty detrimental to him.
I think out of everyone, no one has Big Easy's back. He really is probably by himself, I think, out of all this stuff. Like Diem turned her back on him, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like Big Easy needs to start sucking up to Beth, and I mean, well, she's single now, so because Nehemiah's gone, so maybe.
Oh God.
Maybe she'll go for some big loving from Big Easy.
Oh. No.
No?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if the numbers are that important, I suppose.
It's like Noah's Ark. They gotta pair off somehow.
It's our second Noah's Ark joke of the night. And how fitting. It's in pairs. Alright, I feel like
I'm hankering for some Russell Crowe right now.
Really? Well, more of a Jennifer Connelly person myself, but you know, to each his own. Well, I think that's the end of this episode. If you like this episode, make sure to like it. When you like something, I don't know if you know this, but your YouTube page presents that little video on your page. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Pay attention to your YouTube page. Whatever you like, it's instantly shared. So when we say, not only are you saying, hey, I like this, but like you're telling all your friends who ever check out your channel, it's like, this is what I also like. So it kind of builds the community. And if you subscribe, if you're a first-time listener or multiple-time listener, finally subscribe so you get those notifications saying, hey, Vince or Dave came out with a podcast, or the both of them did together. You know, I'm covering the Gauntlet at the same time by myself, and we'll be.
Did you just start that one?
Yeah. Well, that was a week ago, something like that. But I'll probably try.
So that was you. So you're working on episode number 2 right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Sequel. Or is it gonna be the pre-sequel?
It's gonna be a sophomore slump. I'm pretty sure of it. No, actually, no. I think there's nowhere else to go but up, because I felt that pilot was beep, beep, like that. You know, like it was informative. Sure. I mean, brochures are fun, right? But like, I was like, I don't know. It's okay.
I'm curious to see, like, in the next episode, basically the alliances of like Best Alliance, and see how they do in the next challenge they have, because if they don't win it and one of them gets safe from the beginning, probably one of them will be at the bottom again, and it'll be one of the girls. It'll be Anissa, Svetlana, or Beth. So one of those gals got to win in the next episode, otherwise they'll be fighting for their life.
I mean, really, it's like, okay, you have your guys versus your girls. How do you think Evan, Derek, Brad, and CT stack up against Wes? Like, it's basically because they're inadvertently all part of this whole alliance that's just not Team Beth. And sure, Wes and Nehemiah, they could do a lot worse, but they were just like, well, one alliance is better than no alliance, right? And then it's the girls. It's Beth, Anissa, and Svetlana versus Robin, Jody, Keena, and Diem. Really, those are the only girls left. It's like the women are basically the line in the sand. All right, well, I think we should probably sign off because we have literally nothing else to say. So I am Vincent Cloud.
I'm David Lauer.
What do we got to close with, Dave?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for that moniker that you're going to come up with, your closing line.
What moniker? Oh, no. No, that's the thing. I feel like we should never say the same thing to end it. I don't know. I feel like there's something to be said about something new to end on every time. You know what I mean? Because we open up.
The beginning is always the same, which I was trying to change, but you resisted.
I think the opening should always be the same.
So that way, every time someone starts a video, they have no idea what.
That was like Mac talking about the Bible. Like, no, the Bible says. Oh my gosh.
Where's our Bible? Where's our goddamn Bible?
It's a bar. Like, we're a Catholic bar. Some shit. I don't remember. With that being said, I don't know what else to add to this. No?
No, I'm good.
Next episode looks like they're doing some rafts. They're pumping up some rafts, going into the water and shit.
Well, we saw Evan talking about having, like, rocks in his nipples during puberty. What the fuck was that about? I gotta Google that or something. Apparently, he had rocks in his like hard shit.
Yeah,
in his
Derek
nipples.
was grabbing at him, and he's like, no. He like, I thought he was joking,
Evan
but it's
was
like,
very
no,
sensitive
like,
about his nipples.
Yeah.
Like, growing up, titty twisters were just something that happened. That's what dudes did to other dudes.
You know what? Not in Canada though. They don't do that in Canada.
Oh, I guess
He's
not.
Canadian. Yeah.
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 Fuck, boxing is that? What the fuck does that mean? I think I need to Google it. Is there like
respect
some
each
kind of
other's-
syndrome?
I don't know. It's a Canadian thing.
Maybe it's all the steroids he's on.
Yeah, maybe it was like a. I don't want to say anything, but yeah, the man looks like he could have been, using some roids growing up. Maybe in Canada it's not as severe. I don't know. They're just like, oh, yeah, you do what you do. We have moose around here, Sometimes you gotta out wrestle a moose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. And I mean, everyone in Canada plays hockey, but I mean, he's not playing hockey, so he must have got kicked off the team for doing all the roids. All I know is he is jacked, and I have not seen one episode where these dudes are in a gym working out. But let's be honest, like, they would all have to be fucking stupid if they weren't trying to get on steroids, because if they're not going to test for it and you're doing this for money, why not get every advantage you can? So, I mean, they should all be on roids if they had any brains, right?
$150,000, man.
Yeah, they gotta be like, Tom Brady, deflating footballs, doing whatever they can.
Yeah, but they're not going to be deflating footballs. They're going to be deflating their nuts, man.
Yeah, their own balls.
Yeah. But you know what? That's how you get Super Bowl wins, and that's how you win these challenges. So we'll see who has some shrinkage going. I am Vincent Cloud.
I'm David Lauer.
Peace.